In week 2, we're jumping into kind of this definition or idea of multimedia storytelling. And I want you to think about some of the differences between a static image and a video image, a video production. Many of you did this last week in our discussion as you thought about how it was more challenging to incorporate or identify specific design principles in a video than it is in a static image. And on screen, kind of the correlation I give you, an infographic, a nice static, quick one-sheeter with a recipe and how to do it. But imagine how this would take on a new dimension with Ree Drummond, also known as the Pioneer Woman, leading how to make this recipe. And what that does for the media itself, how it adds a dimension or a richness. And that's where we can talk about the impact of storytelling as well. So you'll notice that this week's discussion is based on that storytelling aspect or component. For those of you who are taking 5320, you'll get to this chapter later in the semester in that class. Or if you took 5320 from me last year, then you'll remember it a little bit. I do want to point out that there are some differences between the old and the new version of White Space is Not Your Enemy in Chapter 12. The number is the same, it's still about multimedia, but the new version has a little bit more detail. Unfortunately, there isn't a digital version I can share with you. So this is where I might ask one of you who does have the new version of the book to potentially help your classmates a little bit. So basically, there's an extra page and a half in Chapter 12 in the new version than there was in the old. So if you happen to have the new version, if you wouldn't mind in either this week's discussion or in the open topic, just give a little snapshot, and I mean that figuratively, not literally, of that section of the book. And that'll help some of our classmates who are still using the previous version. Again, I do apologize for that shift. It was not my intent. I did not request the new version from the bookstore, but that's what happened. So anyway, this week we're thinking about multimedia and storytelling. Now let's take a look at our checklist for this week. Please use the links on screen to navigate to the section of the overview you wish to access.